about my generation? What about the people who are saving and paying their taxes for their pension in the future? And the fact is, the reason the thresholds were unsustainable is because the tax concessions were going faster than the age pension, and the threshold couldn't sustain it. You would need, I think it is $100 million super balance with the current bonds at 2 to 2.3% for people to get half the pension in the future. So you're making these predictions on the assumption that the bonds will go back to 6%. My generation isn't going to have, even with that $100 million super balance, there isn't going to be, there won't be the half the cost of the pension there. So my question is, what about that generation? We're leaving a generation behind.
So when I was,
you're still not cut
7.5 taxpayers to every pensioner, person of retirement age, and then in about 2009 that ratio was 5 to 1, and we're heading to about 2.6 to 1. Now, quite often when I speak with pensioners, you do hear this phrase that people pay their taxes through their life to earn their pension later on. What actually happens in a structural sense in an economy is that all the taxpayers now, those 7 to 1 or 5 to 1 or 2.6 to 1, and if you can't slow down the rate of growth in the pension and that you don't have a plan to slow down that rate of growth, or you don't have a plan to earn extra revenue, you're effectively borrowing more and more to pay the pension, which means that grandkids of today, when they enter the tax system, will be paying back those borrowings through increased tax and basically funding pension increases today. So it's this generation of taxpayers that are paying for this generation of pensions, and it'll be the next that'll pay for the next, and that's the...
Have compulsory superannuation. We've got that now. We've now got the 4th largest superannuation pool in the world, and our trajectory is that our superannuation pool will be $7.9 trillion by 2030. And that's more than enough to pay for all our retirement people. The Labor Party has got a policy, a 3-pronged policy of dealing with super, pensions. I've forgotten what the other one was, but that was, that's not just looking at the pension.
Getting elected, I think.
It's not just looking at the pension as the be-all and end-all. There's too much focus on taxes and services and what the government will do for you. The critical questions facing our country today is what we can do for ourselves and how we can look ahead, like President Obama's done in the States with growth policies,